Hey, it's NPR's Book of the Day. I'm Andrew Limbong. Growing up is hard enough. Growing up during a war is, well, nearly unimaginable. Sam Wachman's novel, The Sunflower Boys, centers around a 12-year-old Ukrainian boy during the Russian invasion. And he doesn't have to just keep himself alive, but those around him too. Now, we've been thinking about Ukraine in the context of this ongoing war for years, but Wachman actually started writing this book before Russia invaded in 2022. And he tells NPR's Scott Simon about why it was important to keep and preserve an image of pre-war Ukraine with this book. That's coming up.
Support for this podcast and the following message come from Indeed. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. Indeed's Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed and get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/book. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
This message comes from Ritual. What makes Ritual vitamins different? Ritual vitamins are made with bioavailable, clinically studied key ingredients and a patented nutrient delivery system that aims to help your body use the nutrients you're getting. Ritual's essential multivitamins are made with you and your body in mind and backed by scientific research, filled with key ingredients as well as the essence of mint so you can enjoy taking your vitamins. Get 25% off your first purchase when you visit ritual.com/NPR.
Artem is 12 and likes to spend summer days on his grandfather's sunflower farm, swimming with his younger brother Yuri and sketching in a book his father has sent him from America. But on a February night in 2022, they hear a wail of sirens and bomb blasts, and after a night in the basement, they risk taking 10 minutes to pack up what they can into backpacks and flee for their lives.
My reusable water bottle and Yuri's reusable water bottle, which has a Minecraft sticker on the bottom to distinguish it from mine, Yuri's stuffed crocodile Arkady, the framed photo of me and Tato on top of Javierla, my phone, our headphones, my sketchbook. I go to the bathroom to collect our toothbrushes and toothpaste. Our 3 toothbrushes sit together in a cup. Mom's pink electric one, Yuri's red one, my blue one. Evidence that all 3 of us are here. In the mirror, I see that my shirt is on inside out. I start to take it off, and there's another explosion. Mama shouts my name, Yuri's name. My reflection jumps, then splits down the middle, right across my neck as the mirror cracks in half.
The Sunflower Boys is the first novel from Sam Wachman, who's from a Ukrainian family in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and taught English in a small primary school in Ukraine. He joins us now from our member station, WBUR. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an immense honor.
I gather this novel in many ways begins with a story told to you by a young boy.
It very much does, yes. This was about a year into the war, and I was volunteering at a camp for Ukrainian kids just over the border in Romania. I used to tutor English in Ukraine, and all of the kids that I tutored somehow made it to this camp in Romania, and I hadn't seen them in at least 2 years. So we were sitting around way past their bedtimes, way past my bedtime, exchanging stories of the war, and I made an offhand comment like, "You guys need to write a book." And one of my kids, who was 13 at the time, said, "We're busy, you do it."
Artem and Yuri, his brother, have to flee. Where do they think they're going?
Toward their father. They think that they're going toward their father when they flee, but I think that they are also thinking in a sort of a fight or flight state. I'm not sure that they're thinking more than 1 or 2 steps ahead of where they currently are. The shock of the first weeks of the war induced a lot of panic in a lot of people, and their goal was just sort of to make their way west, because west is away from Russia, and even though it's obviously a very long way from where they live in the central part of Ukraine, they're still trying to make their way west.
When your novel opens, you get the impression that young Ukrainians didn't know a lot about Ukraine's history, particularly under Joseph Stalin.
Artem was very, very young in this story. I mean, the oldest that he becomes is in this book is 13. And I think that young people around the world are often not particularly familiar with their own national history.
Not just 12-year-olds. Astonishing number of Americans don't know their history.
I don't. I've done those tests online where it's like, can you pass the American citizenship exam? And I fail every time. But I, in particular, did want to capture some of the amnesia that comes with the generation of Ukrainians born long after the dissolution of the USSR, born into a very young nation that is trying to find its place in the world geopolitically. So that was a part of it.
And when the war strikes, Artem is also trying to come to terms with something else in his life, isn't he?
Yes, he's grappling with his nascent feelings for his best friend, Viktor. He is trying to come to terms with his sexuality, his attraction to another boy in a country that has not always received that in a particularly kind or understanding way. And he's trying to discover himself with very few role models and very few people to talk to, especially very few male role models. His father is kind of scarce.
You have a phrase that I marked down. Their father, you're right, his absence sits on our couch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's funny because occasionally I hear these phrases and I go, oh, that's good. Who wrote that?
It's a good one. Yeah. His father sends him sketchbooks. What does drawing put into Artem's life?
Well, drawing gives Artem a creative outlet and a way to express himself and to process things. It occupies the same place in Artem's life that writing occupies in my life. That's why I wrote him that way. And so drawing is a way, not just a distraction and an art to hone, but also it's a way for him to process what's going on around him, which is often distressing and confusing and traumatic.
You're struck several times in the novel by the fact that Artem is trying to stay alive. He's trying to survive. He's trying to keep his brother alive. They're both trying to find their father. And of course, he suffered great loss. And he is just 12 years old.
Yes. The resilience and the drive to keep moving forward that I personally observed among not only the Ukrainian kids who I taught, but also among other young people from Ukraine who I have known and befriended and worked with, it's just truly stunning. And I think that it is really a testament, and something that I wanted to convey in this book was the drive not only to survive, but also to protect. Artem's main goal in all of this is to keep his little brother, Yuri, safe.
I know it's fiction, and you're a literary figure, but do you feel a sense of mission?
Absolutely. I started writing the book long before the war. This book started out as sort of a love letter from diaspora to ancestral homeland. I wanted to show the English-speaking world Ukraine. It's a country that's very close to my heart, both ancestrally and also in terms of modern Ukraine. And then when the full-scale invasion began, I sort of put the novel on hold for about a year. Writing felt like a frivolous thing to be doing with my time, and I was volunteering as a translator and volunteering with refugee families. And eventually I got back to writing the book, largely because of my students. And I do still feel a great sense of mission toward bringing Ukraine, both in its peaceful form and in its current state, into one book. So I suppose that my sense of mission is that I want to convey what has been lost and what still must be salvaged. And, most of all, I'm always trying to write toward peace. I think good literature should always tap into the shared undercurrent of human experience. Good literature should always be antithetical to violence. So I believe in literature as a force for peace and solidarity, and I'm trying to write toward that.
The Sunflower Boys is the first novel from Sam Wachman. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
This message comes from Schwab. Everyone has moments when they could have done better. like cutting their own hair or forgetting sunscreen, so now you look like a tomato. Same goes for where you invest. Level up and invest smarter with Schwab. Get market insights, education, and human help when you need it. Learn more at schwab.com.
Support for NPR and the following message come from IXL Online. Is your child asking questions on their homework you don't feel equipped to answer? IXL Learning uses advanced algorithms to give the right help to each kid, no matter the age or personality. One subscription gets you everything. One site for all the kids in your home, pre-K to 12th grade. Make an impact on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And NPR listeners can get an exclusive 20% off IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/NPR. This message comes from NPR sponsor HP. Break language barriers by translating languages in real time with the HP AI PC. With the right tools, work doesn't have to feel like work. More at hp.com/AI PC.